The story begins in Sanliurfa. It is Yıldız's birthday, and she is overjoyed because she has finally graduated from high school, free at last after years of hardship and strict restrictions. Her greatest wish now is to marry Serhat, and her determination to study had always been driven by the desire not to feel inferior to him. She vows to continue her education at university and not stop here. She rushes to her teacher to collect her graduation certificate, proud and excited for what lies ahead. Her teacher congratulates her and expresses regret that he cannot stay to help her further, as he must travel for work. Yıldız warmly thanks him, saying he has already done more than enough, and that she will soon be married. The teacher, Metin, advises her that marriage should never be an obligation, but she insists it is her choice and that she is truly happy. Serhat is not like other men here, she says. He's a successful doctor, and he will want his wife to be educated like him. Metin, visibly captivated by her, smiles sadly as she thanks him once more. Suddenly, Yıldız's brother, Asır, bursts into the room, furious. He accuses Metin of dishonorable intentions and threatens him, reminding him that Yıldız is the daughter of Ziyan Aga, one of the most powerful men in town. Despite Yıldız's attempts to calm her brother, he grows increasingly violent. When Metin confesses, "Is love a crime?" "Yes, I love her," Asır explodes in rage, pulls out a gun and shoots him. Yıldız screams in horror. Meanwhile, in Istanbul, Serhat is being interviewed by a TV presenter who introduces him as one of the most prominent neurosurgeons in the city. She praises his innovative techniques that help paralyzed patients walk again. Serhat replies with humility, saying he feels immense pride in his work and his ability to heal. After the interview, he rushes to perform surgery, choosing to ride his scooter through traffic. Elsewhere, a young woman named Melek wakes from a terrifying nightmare in which a child pleads for help before vanishing into a strange, dark place. Living alone, she is startled by noises in her apartment, only to find her mother cleaning outside. Their conversation reveals Melek's isolation. She has abandoned her career to focus on her mysterious paintings, endlessly recreating the same image of the same child. Her mother worries about her mental state, but Melek insists she is fine. When Melek storms out, she collides with Serhat on his scooter. They argue heatedly before parting ways, but Serhat accidentally takes one of her drawings. When he opens it, Melek rushes back, snatches it from him, and storms off again, yet she cannot shake the feeling that the boy in her dreams resembles Serhat. Later that day, Serhat sees another patient in surgery and looks at an old photograph of himself and his brother, Akif, from their childhood, tucking it into his wallet. Back in Sanliurfa, Akif, now a bitter and ambitious man, speaks with Nida, who reveals the brutal punishment Asır inflicted on Metin. Akif, secretly envious of his brother Serhat, dreams of becoming the next Aga of the family. Unknown to everyone, Nida is actually Asır's wife, her affair with Akif adding yet another layer of deceit. When Asır confronts Nida about her whereabouts, she lies about shopping, but he grows suspicious and orders her to comfort Yıldız, who is heartbroken upstairs. Nida finds Yıldız clinging to her wedding dress, dreaming of her future with Serhat, unaware of the storm that is about to shatter her world. She said to him, "Oh, not you again. What is this? Are you following me or something?" He replied calmly, "Why? Do you think I have nothing better to do than follow you? Or maybe I really am watching you." Then he added, "Don't worry, I'll be leaving town completely by morning." She sighed in relief and said, "Honestly, I already feel better hearing that." As he turned to leave, a photo of him and Akif slipped from his pocket and fell to the ground. Melek picked it up to return it to him, but when she looked at the picture, she froze. It was the same boy she had been dreaming about. Shocked, she suffered a sudden episode, and he tried to calm her down, telling her, "Come, let's go outside, get some air." He let her out as his phone rang. It was Akif, checking in and asking when he would return. Serhat told him to hang up, saying he was busy with important work. At the same time, Akif was sitting with Metin in a cafe and said, "If I were you, I'd pack up and leave. They'll never leave you alone here." Metin replied bitterly, "Are you joking? Weren't you the one who told me to confess my love if it was real? What? Were you just mocking me?" Meanwhile, Melek told Serhat not to leave. He said he had no choice, that this place had never felt like home. She asked softly, "Then where is your home?" He answered, "I still don't know." She told him that she had dreamt of him many times, and that it could not be a coincidence. He looked at her and said, "No, it's not a coincidence." She moved closer and kissed him. At that very moment, Yildiz awoke suddenly from her sleep, startled and gasping for air. Her mother comforted her, gave her water, and left the room. The next morning, Melek was full of energy as she headed out to meet Serhat. But on the way, her car was hit, triggering a flashback to the night before when she told Serhat, "Don't leave until I say goodbye." He had smiled and asked, "And what if you don't come?" She replied, "I'll come no matter what." That morning, Serhat stood by the taxi, suitcase in hand, torn between leaving and waiting for her, even though he was already late. Just then, an ambulance sped past him. He didn't know that Melek was inside, injured, clutching one of his sketches in her hand. At the hospital, Serhat's colleague Oguz called him urgently. "There's a girl named Melek. Her condition is critical. She needs surgery immediately." Serhat rushed to the hospital and was the one to operate on her. Trembling with emotion, he struggled to save her. Oguz, noticing his distress, asked, "Is there something you're not telling me?" Serhat confessed quietly, "Yes, I fell in love with her." 3 months later, at home, Asya, the housemaid, showed Yildiz a news report about Serhat. It said that he had left the country 3 months ago and then returned unexpectedly. Yildiz smiled coldly and said, "He has no chance to run from me. He's my destiny, God's gift to me." She asked Nando to prepare a pie to take to her mother-in-law and told Asya to pass the news to someone in the Yildiz family. "Tell Kothar, for example," she added slyly. Meanwhile, Yildiz went to her father's office, where a sir was sitting, and told them, "I think Hala Yildiz is trying to help her son escape abroad." They were both shocked and confused. Elsewhere, Asya informed Kothar, who worked in Yildiz's mansion, and Kothar told Gilistar, another maid. Together, they ran to Lady Sultana to report what they'd heard. At that same moment, Bikir Aga, Serhat's father, received a phone call from Ziyan Aga, Yildiz's father. Ziyan said curtly, "Come to see me. I need to talk to you about your honorable son." Bikir, alarmed, agreed and called for his son Kazım, but instead Nurgal, Akif's wife, appeared, handing him a newspaper showing the same news about Serhat's supposed travel plans abroad. Bikir was stunned. At the mansion, Gilistar grew increasingly worried about Serhat and asked Akif to call him, but Serhat didn't answer. Then Sultana, the family matriarch, entered furiously, ordering them to reach Serhat immediately. Akif tried to calm her, saying, "Mother, that's old news. If he really left, he would have told us." But she shouted again, "Call him." Akif called, and when Serhat answered, he denied the rumors. "They're just lies." Akif told his mother, "See? Now you can relax." Sultana demanded the phone, shouting loudly, "If Serhat wanted to hear my voice, he would have called me first." Akif sighed, muttering, "You really never miss a chance, do you, mother?" and stepped outside to speak to Serhat privately. He said sharply, "Are you lying to us or to yourself? We both know this isn't just a rumor." Serhat replied firmly, "What's done is done. The matter is over. I'm not going anywhere." Their mother followed Akif, demanding to know, "Well, what did he say? What's going on?" Akif replied dryly, "Mother, I left you only 10 seconds ago. How could there be anything new already?" Just then, they heard Bikir Aga shouting nearby, angry and agitated, while Sultana rushed to calm him down. Meanwhile, Nurgal continued to provoke Akif, and the two quarreled until she noticed that his shirt was soaked with sweat despite the heat. Her eyes fell silent for a moment. Bikir Aga gathered his men and went to Ziyan's estate. After a formal greeting, the two elders met privately, with Bikir apologizing and promising to uphold their prior agreement. Yet, in another reality, on the very same day, Serhat was marrying Melek, his true love. They were radiant with happiness. At the same time, Yildiz, oblivious, was trying on her wedding dress for what must have been the 100th time, eagerly awaiting the day she would wear it as a bride. Returning to her family's mansion, Sultana saw her and could barely contain her disdain. In the car, Bikir and Akif were driving home when Bikir suddenly felt unwell and stepped out for air. Overcome with frustration, he lashed out at Akif, calling him irresponsible. When Akif finally talked back, Bakir struck him hard across the face in front of everyone. Humiliated, Akif got back into the car and drove off silently. Later, Yildiz and Asya were walking through the market. Asya, ever glued to her phone, noticed that Akif had liked a photo of Melek and quickly showed Yildiz, who became visibly upset but hid it. They stopped by Uncle Musfer's shop to choose dresses. When Musfer insulted her honor, Yildiz snapped. She smashed a vase over his head, stormed out without a word, and went straight home. Her father, furious, slapped her in front of everyone, yelling that she had brought shame upon the family. Yildiz defended herself, saying, "He insulted my honor publicly. I only defended myself." But her father shouted louder, ordering her to go to her room and not leave without his permission. Afterward, Asur said to his father, "Your daughter was right. We've become the talk of everyone, those who are worthy and those who are not, and it's all because of that cursed Yildirim family." At this moment, a fire breaks out in the Yildirim family's mansion, and when Bakir sees it, he collapses on the spot. Meanwhile, Serhat is asleep beside Melek when he receives a call from Akif, informing him that his father has suffered a heart attack and is now in the hospital in critical condition. Serhat is devastated by the news. After ending the call, Akif tells his mother that Serhat will arrive the following morning. Serhat remains in shock, and Melek notices his distress. When she asks what happened, he explains, and she comforts him. Later, Serhat arrives and Salyurfa reassures Melek over the phone, and she tearfully tells him she fears he may never return. He replies, "I belong to you, and to the place beside you, that is my home. I must return." His words ease her worries. As soon as Serhat leaves the airport, he hides his wedding ring so that no one discovers he is married. The men of the family pick him up and drive him to the family estate, which he hasn't seen in years. The first person to greet him is Sevda, who is clearly still in love with him. She reminds him, "You owe me a life." He responds, "I haven't forgotten, don't worry." But whose life, exactly? He then leaves her and goes to see his father, who has been brought home for treatment. The moment Serhat's mother sees him, she runs into his arms. Serhat examines his father's medical reports and asks why they brought him home. His mother replies, "Your father wanted to die in his own house." Serhat then turns to Akif in anger, accusing him of lying about their father's condition. Akif defends himself, saying, "The doctors were wrong. They told us he was dying. At least now you've seen your brother." They embrace, and Akif says bitterly, "Welcome back to hell." Later, Akif takes Serhat to a cafe to celebrate his return. They drink and dance, while Ashur watches from afar, annoyed. When Serhat notices Akif being spoken to disrespectfully by Ashur, he steps in and says firmly, "Just as you're the August son, so am I, and I'm the elder. You owe me respect. As for kinship, we are not family, and we never will be. I'm returning to Istanbul tomorrow, and I will never come back." Ashur warns him that's not a wise decision, but Serhat, furious, argues with him. Akif intervenes to calm things down. Afterward, Ashur tells Akif to control your brother, then storms off. Meanwhile, Melek has another strange dream. In it, Serhat either dies or marries another woman. She wakes up terrified, showers quickly, and packs her bag. Akif tells Serhat he must marry Yildiz, but Serhat refuses, saying it's impossible. When Akif asks why, Serhat confesses that he is already married. Akif is stunned and exclaims, "What? They'll kill us all. You've doomed us." Serhat reassures him, "Nothing will happen as long as I'm here. You'll get what you want. You'll be the next Aga." Meanwhile, Ashur informs his father that he saw Serhat that day. His cousin Dalyan is present, and together they discuss the arranged marriage between Serhat and Yildiz. Ashur insists that won't happen. Serhat refuses and plans to leave again. "We must act." Dalyan replies coldly, "Then he'll marry her by force. I want blood for blood. My father's death must be avenged." It is revealed that Bakir's brother was killed because of the Yildirim family feud, and the marriage between Yildiz and Serhat was intended to end the cycle of vengeance. Dalyan later encounters Yildiz, who asks what's wrong. He asks, "Do you love Serhat?" She replies, "Very much." He is surprised since they've never met. She answers, That's true love, the kind that needs no meeting. He warns her, it's a hard love, and you may never be together. She smiles and says, we will be, I'm sure. Just be patient. At the same time, Serhat visits his father from afar, but Bakir calls him over. Don't leave. Serhat sits beside him, and Bakir says, I've missed you deeply. I know I've reached the end of my road, and now it's your turn, you will lead. Serhat replies, don't trust me so much. Stay with Akif. But Bakir refuses. No, Akif isn't fit. You are my heir. Unknown to them, Akif is eavesdropping, and hearing these words wounds him deeply. Serhat urges his father to drop the topic, but Bakir insists, you must marry Yildiz and take my place as Aga. His coughing worsens, and Serhat helps him drink water before leaving him to rest. Bakir grips his hand and pleads, don't go. If you leave, everything will end, our name, our history. But if you must, then the guilt will be yours. Serhat walks away, haunted by his father's words. Meanwhile, Melek calls her mother to say she's traveling to Şanlıurfa, but her mother panics and says she and Melek's father will come immediately to stop her. Back at the Yildirim estate, Serhat bids farewell to his family, determined to leave. Suddenly, Ashur and his father storm in with armed men, threatening everyone inside. Serhat stands frozen, shocked by the sheer number of weapons surrounding him. Sultan stands protectively before her son and says to Ziyan, this is inappropriate. He replies, I respect you and your husband, but you both made me a promise, and now you must keep it. He brings in Yildiz and hands her the wedding dress, insisting that Serhat marry her immediately. Serhat refuses firmly, saying, over my dead body. This will never happen. At once, the men raise their guns at him, but Akif steps in to calm everyone. Give me a moment. I'll talk to my brother. Taking Serhat aside, Akif pleads, don't destroy us, and don't destroy yourself. Just marry her on paper. Then you can return to Istanbul, or even bring Melek here to live with you. Think wisely, don't be reckless. But Serhat, unwilling to betray Melek, refuses outright. Akif continues to pressure him, then tells everyone, put the weapons down. Serhat will speak to Yildiz first. Ashur objects, but Serhat insists, that's my condition. When Ashur's father allows it, he warns Serhat, there's no turning back from this marriage, no matter what happens. Inside the room, Yildiz sits veiled, her face covered. Serhat tells her, remove the veil so we can talk. She answers, that's not allowed before the wedding night. He replies coldly, there will be no wedding night, Yildiz. Take off the veil. She does so and says with defiance, don't be so certain, Serhat. This wedding will happen. Either it changes your life forever, or you'll regret it deeply. The pain I've endured must end. Serhat responds, the pain will only begin again. Yildiz answers, it doesn't matter. I'll change my path, and I'll find someone to walk it with me. He mocks, then dream on. She retorts, you know what I want. My rights, my freedom, my womanhood, my humanity, and I won't give them up, not even you, Aga. Serhat snaps, don't call me Aga. She replies firmly, no, you are the Aga, and I will be your wife. When he asks, what do you really want? She confesses, I've suffered so much. I was imprisoned, beaten, humiliated. When I heard you gone abroad, I rebelled, but I waited for you, Serhat. I waited for your return, so my time could begin. You have no choice but to marry me, otherwise the revenge will be unbearable. Their marriage contract is signed, and Yildiz beams with joy, while Serhat stands in silent misery. Back here, on his deathbed, weeps with joy, believing peace has been restored. The wedding proceeds lavishly, in full accordance with tradition and custom. Everyone celebrates, except the groom. Meanwhile, Akif goes to his father's room, locks the door, and unleashes years of resentment. You ruined me. You never chose me. His words are filled with emotion, but Bakir remains cold, saying, enough. Leave me alone. Downstairs, guests shower the bride with gold gifts. Serhat stands beside her, expressionless, suffocating in silence. Back in the room, Akif declares to his father, I won't stay silent anymore. I'll take what's mine. I'll rebel. I'll fear no one. Bakir smirks weakly. So you've found a personality now while I'm dying. Where was it before? I could have been proud, instead of crushed by your weakness. Akif breaks down, apologizing. Forgive me, father. Please forgive me. Bakir remains unmoved until Akif embraces him tightly, crying. You always said I had everything, that I lacked nothing, but you deprived me of the one thing that mattered, your love and tenderness. Bakir gasps. Stop, son, you're choking me. But Akif's grip tightens. In his anguish, he accidentally strangles his father, who dies in his arms. Akif collapses over the body, weeping. Father, you didn't even live to see your favorite son's wedding, the one you loved most. But it wasn't even a real wedding, because your heir is already married. He fooled you all, married in secret, and lived happily while we suffered. If it weren't for me, that wedding wouldn't have happened. His voice hardens, but now it's over. The feud is ended, the blood debt settled, and the chance is mine. I will be the Aga. Your beloved heir will leave on the first plane, and everything will belong to me. I'm the one who won, father, not him. Unbeknownst to him, a maid overhears everything, horrified by what she has seen and heard. Back at the wedding, joy fills the air, except for the groom. Dalian and Sebda leave quietly. Just then, Melek arrives with her parents. When they realize whose wedding it is, they are shocked beyond words. Serhat too is struck motionless when he sees Melek. He rushes toward her, but her father blocks his path. Enraged, Yildiz walks to stand beside her husband. Everyone begins whispering. Who is she? Melek, trembling and tearful, cries out. You want to know who I am? I am the wife of Aga Serhat Yildirim.